Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Paul and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of BCN Sports World Cup Watch Along. It's the big day. Well, yesterday was the big day. Yesterday, a lot of people are saying, including me, the World Cup officially started yesterday. Yesterday, the big boys showed up. Lionel Messi scored a hat-trick, tied Marcelo closer for the most goals in World Cup history. Kylian Mbappe and France made their grand entrance into the World Cup with a nervy 3-1 win over the African champions, the African champions, Senegal. Norway made their grand entrance into the World Cup and made everybody know that they're not just a sexy pick. They are for real, as Norway entered with a 4-1 trouncing of Iraq. And I was sitting there saying, you know what? As a CR7 apologist, as a Cristiano Ronaldo apologist, I was thinking to myself, oh, the World Cup is about to start. Cristiano Ronaldo sees Messi score a hat-trick. He cannot wait to turn up for his game against DR Congo. The DR Congo that is... DR Congo is the last team to make it to the World Cup. It's the last team to qualify in the World Cup. Were they? Yeah, they're the last team. Yeah, they're the last team. Or they're amongst the last... either the last team or the last two, second to last or third to last team to qualify for the World Cup when they defeated Jamaica. My Jamaica 1-0. So I was looking forward to this game today and I was thinking to myself like, wow, should I skull work and do a watch along of Portugal versus DR Congo to celebrate Cristiano Ronaldo, the oldest man in the World Cup, to come out there and do something? And no. It was crap. Portugal drew with DR Congo 1-1 in a very surprising game. And we're getting ready for England versus Croatia. This is a game that could be very tricky. Very tricky. Put your predictions in the chat. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do a watch along yesterday because I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I don't know, and Benton talked about this the last time. Why them have so much bug game during prime time and have the good games playing during work hours? This is just madness. Madness by FIFA. Yesterday, if we were to do a watch along, because we can't do watch along obviously because we are working, we have a 9 to 5 and we have to take care of our family. If we were going to do a watch along, it would have been Argentina versus Algeria, which I'm going to be telling you right now, I wasn't that enthused about doing. Or it would have been Austria versus Jordan in the wee hours of the morning. I wasn't that enthused about doing that. When you had the great Norway and Iraq played, which is funny. But the primetime game yesterday should have been France versus Senegal. That should have been what we did a watch along for. That should have been in the middle of the evening, but no. FIFA have other plans. And what we see now is England's playing Croatia at 4 o'clock in about 3 minutes. And then we have Ghana versus Panama later on. And we have a check on South Africa. The check on South Africa kicks off the second round of games. With the second rounds of games playing tomorrow, we have Switzerland versus... Hold on, let me make sure. Switzerland versus Bosnia. We have Mexico versus Korea, which is a big game tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We also have Canada versus Qatar tomorrow at 6 p.m. But right now it's all about England versus Croatia. As we look at the starting lineup, we have Jordan Pickford in goal, O'Reilly, Stones, Konza, and James. Reece James filling out the back four. The two holding midfielders are Anderson and Declan Rice, the recently Premier League champion Declan Rice. On the wing, we have the newly minted Barcelona player, Anthony Gordon, and Noni Madueke on the right wing, which is raising some eyebrows. We have Jude Bellingham in the 10, and King Kane, Harry Kane up front. Very interesting starting 11 there for England. Let me know your thoughts. While for Croatia, in goal, we have Livakovic, we have Gravigol, Vuskovic, and Sutalo in the back three. We have Ivan Perisic, Stusic, and the big man himself, Luka Modric, and Stanisic in the midfield four. We have 2 10s in Pasalic and Baturuna, and up front we have Musa. I'm going to say something about Croatia that might be deemed very offensive, but it's factual in my opinion. Croatia just waiting to be put out the pasture. That's what Croatia is to me right now. They are an old team. It's the first veteran and inexperienced team that I've ever seen. It's one of those teams. They are veteran and inexperienced at the same time. So let's see. But one thing we can tell you about the World Cup is we're about to have kickoff. One thing. Oh crap! I didn't do the. Oh crap! Sorry. One sec. Sitting here, I didn't even do the scoreboard. As we're about to have kickoff, England will be kicking off, and I'm going to fix the jerseys in a second. England is in all white, while Croatia is in blue. And we have kickoff. England kicking from left to right. So keys to the game. Keys to the game for me is for Croatia, they have to slow this game down and force England to play pragmatic. While England, for me, they have to play a little bit different than we're used to seeing. The England of old is a team that Croatia would love to play, but when you look at the starting 11 for England, all I'm seeing for them is speed in Anthony Gordon and Madueke. High pressing with Harry Kane and Bellingham, Madueke and Gordon, and trying to control the midfield. While for Croatia, it is all about just stifling the game and keeping the game as close as possible to what, and then you pick your spots. And that's not disrespectful to Croatia. It just is what it is. Here's John Stones looking very rusty. I can't tell when last I saw John Stones play a football game. But he comes in and goes right into the starting lineup. Let's have a look at the Croatia coach here. World Cup so far. Are you guys happy with the World Cup? Surprised with the World Cup? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts on the World Cup. I hear the corner for Croatia, and we had two heads going up in O'Reilly and John Stones running into each other, and it looks like Talo should have done better there. I think that was Sucic, right? Who's that? Why is he not on my board? Anyway, here's Pickford looking left for Stones. Stones out to Riley, his Manchester City teammate. Let me go ahead and fix these jerseys real quick. So England is in all white. And England looks like they're insisting on playing out the back. And Croatia is the one that's pressing high. And here's Croatia. Pressures into the box. Comfortably taken now here by Declan Rice. And Rice looking for an option. And now is forced to play it long. Croatia is definitely enjoying the start of the game here. And England seems to be in a spot of bother to start. Let's see how long this lasts. There you go. I got the jerseys fixed. You're watching the BCN Sports watch along of England versus Croatia. So no, people, we cannot show the game live, unfortunately. But we can sit here and we can just enjoy the commentary together, our own personal commentary. Here's Madueke does well, get the ball to Kane. Gordon trying to make a run behind, easily read there by Croatia. And this is the high press that I've been telling you about with England now, trying to employ. Here's Vucevic. Looking long, trying to get Musa. Pickford out. The ball out, and it's been headed out by Sucic for a throw into England. Throw into England here, Reece James. Jordan Pickford way out. Way off the line there. Barking orders as England now trying to establish themselves in possession. And here's Anderson. A highly sought after Anderson. Last we heard, Man City was in the running to sign him, but nothing has been in concrete yet. I'm talking about Elliot Anderson. Here's Nick O'Reilly. All the way back to Pickford. Pickford now in possession. Croatia is happy to lay off him. Now Pickford goes long, trying to get Madueke. He will get Madueke. Madueke does well. Almost kept it in. It's a throw in for England, for Croatia. So in Croatia. And Perisic puts the ball off. Anderson, well, he didn't hit him. Throwing to England midway in Croatia half. The ball goes back to Konza. So yeah, so this England starting lineup is one that's very peculiar. Big up to the Germans that I know, aka Giggs and Javan. They're saying Rashford should have started. Also Menu. But it's a very peculiar starting 11. I think this English team, I don't think they are going to be one of those teams that barely meets expectation. I think England is either going to crash like terribly out the World Cup, or they're going to have a very good World Cup. I think that's the way this team has been picked and built. Is very different looking English team, and I think that could bode well for them, or it could be one of those things that they come to regret. But we'll see. A lot to play for. A lot to play for as the final day of the first game of the opening rounds. The World Cup goes in. And here's Madueke breaking away down the right. Can he get a cross in? Typical Madueke, no, but get ball to James. James trying to get the ball in. Bounced up. And here's Harry Kane with a turn. And I think the ball took a deflection, and it's a corner kick for England. And Madueke did well holding up the ball, get the ball to James. James tried to put the cross in. Took a deflection, went up, and then Harry Kane was first to it. Got it, tried to turn quickly and shoot. And he took a deflection out, and it's a corner kick. And here's Declan Rice. And corner kicks for England is very important because of the Arsenal connection. So let's see. Corner kick to England. Here's the ball into the box. All heads go up. And Madueke went down. It's a penalty for England. As it looks like Luka Modric tried to clear the ball and Madueke beat him to the spot. And it's one of those clumsy, unfortunate penalties, but Madueke was just faster than Modric, and it's a penalty for England. And none other than Mr. Harry Kane is coming up to take the penalty. So within the first 10 minutes of the game, a mistake here by Croatia. And this is something that we talked about. They needed to slow the game down. The last thing you want is for England to get off to a fast start. Can Livakovic save his captain, Luka Modric, here and save this penalty? Let's see, as this is a big, big turn of events to start the game. Can Harry Kane open his scoring? And no, he can't. It's a save. Wow. And the referee's checking because the goalkeeper might have come off the line early. It looked like. What is he saying? As yes, and VAR will be calling in. Looking at the replay. No, I think his right foot is still on the line. I think his right foot is still on the line. Oh no. So he has to retake the penalty. Wow. I know Livakovic is sick. But to be honest, that was a terrible penalty by Harry Kane. Terrible penalty. Now the mind games begin. He went to his left. He went to his Harry Kane's right. The goalkeeper's left. The goalkeeper guessed right, but he came off the line too early. And now the mind games begin. If you are Harry Kane, do you go back to that spot? Do you change direction? If you're the goalkeeper, do you expect him to go to the spot? Let's see if they can do it again as I get my Queen meme ready to put in the chat. And here's Harry Kane up again, and he went there to back to the right spot, and then he scored this time. It's 1-0 England. But if one thing we've seen this World Cup, early goals, as we saw earlier today, doesn't necessarily dictate how the game ends. As Portugal did score about this time, or a little bit earlier in their game, and DR Congo came back and surprised the world and found an equalizer, and Portugal could not find the winner. So a lot to play for. But England up 1-0. Ideal start here for Thomas Tuchel and England, as Harry Kane has opened the scoring for his team. And here's another high press here by Bellingham. Goalkeeper got it out. This is where I think England will be different this year. I like their midfield. I really do. In Elliot Anderson and Declan Rice. I like the setup in the midfield. And that front three that they have are really, yeah, that front three, basically front four, if you include Bellingham, they are very potent in the press and in the counter attack. As Kane tries to get Madueke out there, but Perisic did well. Here's Pasalic. Pasalic all the way back to Vucevic. Vucevic outright to Stalo. Stalo further outright to Stanisic. 1-0 England. People hit the like, hit the subscribe button. BCN Sports watch along of the FIFA World Cup, England versus Croatia. Here's Sotalo, out to Stanisic. Stanisic back to Sotalo. Back to Vucevic. Vucevic out left to Gavardal. As Croatia now playing with the ball with the back three. As now England is now showing that press that I'm talking about, forcing Croatia to do something. Croatia does well to break the press here. As they get down, puts the ball in the box. He lets it go. And could this be 1-1? And was that Reece James? No. Jude Bellingham doing well, tracking back. He came all the way back to save the blushes of the Brits. And the call been overturned. It's now a goal kick for England as Bellingham was able to kick the ball off Musa's foot as it deflected out for a goal kick. Here's Kane. Got the ball out right to Madueke. That's a beautiful ball. 3 versus 3 for England. Can they make this count? Madueke does well. Gets in the box. Try to put the ball across to Gordon. And it deflects out for a corner kick. Clearly we see England's strategy. They're going to get Harry Kane the ball in the middle. He's going to be responsible for distributing the ball out wide. And Bellingham now has the space to run into the middle, just like he did the first year at Real Madrid. Simple football here by England. And another corner kick. Here's Declan Rice getting ready to put the ball in the box. In the corner, heads go up. Cleared on the way to Anderson. Anderson tries to take a shot, deflects. Goes all the way back to Pickford. Heads go up. And Declan Rice and Perisic, but Declan Rice wins the throw-in for England deep in Croatia's half. 1-0. England leading Croatia. What's up, people? Do remember hit the like, subscribe button. Just providing you our form of commentary because we are tired of the biased commentary, right? So that's what we do here at BCN Sports as we offer sports commentary from a Caribbean perspective, a little bit of pop culture as well. So join the family. Put your predictions in the chat. Let me know as England has the early lead. How happy are you with the World Cup so far? Are you surprised with some of the games? Do you think some of the teams that were disappointing in their first game will turn it around? Are we panicking too early if you're a Brazilian or a Portuguese or a Spanish fan? Are we panicking too early? Or is it signs of things to come? Let us know. Put your information in the chat. Let me know. Nobody act like we're scared people. Here's Croatia establishing possession of the ball in the midfield. Here's Sotalo looking long for Musa. A little bit too long, and Pickford is there to comfortably take it down. Here's Declan Rice in possession. As England now tries to set up their next wave of attack. Ball gets out right to Konza. Konza back to Rice. I think it's important now for England to keep their foot on the gas. They can't get too comfortable. Go and score more goals if you can. And Croatia, they are getting the ball. They're just their timing is just a little bit off. They started well, but as soon as England kind of got their feet under them, Croatia started to fall back a little bit. Let's see how. I think the game is still finely poised. As England is now trying to play the ball at the back, Croatia is trying to do a high press, but they easily break the press here. And here's Rice. Get the ball inside to Bellingham. Bellingham gets the ball back to Konsa. Konsa now back to Elliot Anderson. Anderson in the middle, looking for Bellingham. Gets the ball to Bellingham. Bellingham looking long for, is that Reece James? Yes, Reece James, the furthest man up top. And he's playing right back as England is showing some dynamic nature here. Here's John Stones, does well. Get the ball to Bellingham. Bellingham, he had time. It was like Sucic just got fouled by Rice in the center circle. Free kick to Croatia. Ball's back with Vucevic over to Gavidal. Gavidal back to Vucevic. Vucevic outright to Sutalo. Sutalo outright to Stanisic. Stanisic back to Sutalo. Sutalo to Vucevic. This seems like be the theme here as Croatia is playing the ball along the back line. And one man that I would say has been missing so far for Croatia is the talisman, Luka Modric. And there's a well intercepted ball here by Anderson. Anderson now tries to get the ball to Kane. He was taken down. Anderson gets up, fights back for the ball. And now he fouls. Looks like he fouled Vucevic there. As we're looking in, I guess this is VIP row as we see Arsene Wenger speaking to John Terry. Gavidal in possession for Croatia. And now here's Luka Modric on the ball. That's where Croatia wants to see him. And now the ball gets out left to Perisic. Another one that they want to see the ball there. Tries to put the ball inside. Taken down there by Reece James. Well, here's Bellingham running at Croatia. And Bellingham running into the 18-yard box. This is Jude Bellingham at his best. And Sutalo did well to usher him out there and is now in possession with the Croatia's goalkeeper, Livakovic. Here's Stanisic. Gets the ball to Gavidal. Gavidal looking long. I don't know why they're trying to play the ball long to Luka Modric. Even in his prime, Luka Modric is not preferred to be sent on a long run like that. Here's Anthony Gordon. Back to Konsa. Ball goes out for a goal kick to Croatia. As we're looking at the replay again, yeah, the goalkeeper was off the line. As we're not missing anything, people. We're in the hydration break. What do you feel about this hydration break? I think this hydration break sucks. Personally, I think this hydration break, this cooling break or whatever the hell they want, it sucks. And football is now a game of 4 quarters. So this is like NBA, NFL, and players and one second, I say this text out. But yeah, so with this 4-quarter system, this is in essence an extended halftime. So you have a break in between. think about what football was before. 45 minutes, a 45-minute continuous game, right? Per half. If you're in the ascendancy, if you have momentum, you don't want a cooling break. So this is something players will have to get readjusted to. I also think that with a cooling break being implemented, the way you approach the games will be different. You don't have to ease yourself into some games because you know you have a guaranteed water break in the 23rd, 24th minute. So you go hard. You go harder than you would have, knowing that you can cool off and start again. So these things will definitely affect the strategy. As we see Thomas Tuchel right now speaking to his England troops, this is giving the coach an opportunity to make significant changes, something that they are not used to. People are not used to. So if this gets implemented, I would not be surprised if football changes. The sport definitely can change. So let's see. Let's see. But 1-0 England, Harry Kane penalty after Madueke won the penalty by beating Modric to a ball that he was trying to clear out of the 18. And Modric unfortunately kicked out Madueke. Harry Kane did take the penalty, missed the first one as the goalkeeper saved it, but it was deemed that the goalkeeper was off the line. And we see in the replay that he was definitely off the line, which led to Harry Kane having to take the penalty again. And this time he was able to dispatch. So that's where we are, 1-0. As this is the final day of the first group games. Second group games, or the second game start later today. As we're going to see some significant football coming up in the coming days. As we have some teams that surprised, both negative and positive, as positive and negative surprises. They are going to look to either right the ship or maintain their momentum. So a lot to play for. A lot to play for. And the World Cup, I don't want to say the World Cup was off to a slow start, but with all the cascades surrounding the World Cup, for me, the vibe is off to a slow start. As we have kickoff for the cooling break, as Declan Rice is in possession. Back to Nico Riley. Nico Riley to John Stones. John Stone to Anderson. And here's Riley. Get the ball back to Stones. Stones now get the ball to Pickford. Pickford in possession. Now looking long. Trying to get Anthony Gordon going. But he is marshaled well out there by Stanisic, who gets the ball back to Livakovic. Livakovic now looking long himself. Guess they're playing volley or tennis, but here's Luka Modric in possession, hounded by his former Madrid teammate Jude Bellingham. And here's Perisic. It's the ball back to Vucevic. Vucevic outright to Sotalo. Sotalo back to Luka Modric, who's now coming back to try to maintain possession for Croatia and trying to pull the strings from a deeper lying position, which is why I don't know why he wasn't doing this from earlier first half, from the first quarter. So definitely a change. This is a change in approach here by Croatia, as Luka Modric is now coming back to try to pull the strings from a deeper lying position. Here's Perisic. It's the ball back to Gavidal. Gavidal back to Vucevic. Vucevic will have forced to go all the way back to Livakovic, as England is now putting a small press in is Anthony Gordon. And Livakovic has the ball. A little bit nervy there, but he's now putting it long. Perisic wins the header, but it could only go to Elliot Anderson, who gets the ball all the way back to Pickford. Here's Pickford back to Konza. England kicking from left to right in full white stripe, in full white kit, white shirt with the red trimming on the side, while England is in white shorts. Harry Kane miscontrol the ball here. Can Croatia make them pay? No, Harry Kane did well to get back and win a free kick, but nervy time there as Harry Kane got the ball from Nico Riley and he miscontrolled it, almost put the ball on a platter there for Croatia. Extremely nervy time there. We're in the 28th minute, entering the 29th minute. England 1, Croatia 0. We just completed the cooling break as both teams are now trying to regain their momentum for the last quarter of the first half. Here's Nico Riley back to John Stones. Stones looking long. Trying to get Madueke. And definitely, Harry Kane is falling back into the midfield. And clearly, Anthony Gordon and Madueke is trying to break down on the wings, with Jude Bellingham breaking in that space vacated by Harry Kane. And we've seen some examples of it working so far. Let's see if Croatia can adapt to it. The ball go long. Ball gets out left to Perisic. He has to stretch his legs, but he does get the ball here on the left touchline. Getting the ball back to the middle. All the way to Vucevic. Vucevic lining up a long shot, but thinks better of it. Get the ball out to Stanisic. Here's Stanisic lining up Anthony Gordon. Puts the ball on the left foot. Get the ball in the box and headed away there by Reece James. Croatia is starting to probe again. They're starting to find some joy going down the right flanks. And England, though, is just sitting all the way back as we have all 10 English players within 10 yards of each other. They're in a 10-yard space across the field. Vucevic gets the ball out right to Sotalo. Sotalo back to Vucevic. Vucevic out left to Sucic. Here's Vucevic. Ball out left to right to Sotalo. Sotalo to Stanisic. Stanisic with a poor control there. And Jude Bellingham now in possession. Gets the ball to Anthony Gordon. Gordon to Rice. Kane is waiting for it. Now Kane distributes the ball out right to Madueke. Madueke now running at, puts an early ball in the box, and that should have been 2 here for Bellingham. And he is down, and England is asking for a penalty. Let's see what happens here. The referee looks disinterested. Bellingham did get there first, it looks like. But the defender, Vucevic, did well, and we play on. England back in possession with John Stones. Stones out left to Riley. Riley back to Stones. And another foul called here as Elliot Addison was pulled down from behind. Free kick to England. Look at the replay here. It was definitely a coming together. Definitely coming together. I won't say it was a close call for a penalty, but Vucevic did well to provide some resistance. Nico Riley does well to win a free kick here for England, just over half line. Here's Anthony Gordon. I think Anthony Gordon is playing with a lot of pressure, a lot of weight with that Barcelona jersey that he's going to wear next year. I have to chuckle just even thinking about it. Foul here for Croatia as Nico Riley took down Stanisic. Free kick to Croatia just before before passing the half line. Takes a quick free kick, gets the ball back to Gavidal. Gavidal looking long. And here's Jordan Pickford doing trippiness with the ball here. Here's Croatia in possession, trying to put the ball back post. Heads go up. Perisic did well, but Reece James did even better. And here's Bellingham now winning back possession for England, running at the back line. And here's Madueke. He's now 3 against 3. Well, 4 against 4 now as Madueke slows things down and ran out of options here. But here's Reece James in possession, put the ball to the back post. Trying to stand up here, and all the British players, all the England players look at Madueke and wondering, what the hell were you doing? But anyway, here's England in possession. Gets the ball out right to Reece James. James back to Madueke. Can he redeem himself? Now he gets a quick ball here to James. James put the ball into the box. Heads go up. And Sotalo did well there to get it over Harry Kane. And now Croatia has possession in the right. Now try to send the ball out left to Perisic. Perisic does well to get it down to Gavidal. Luka Modric is not touching the ball enough for Croatia, and that is a problem. That is a problem. Anyway, here's Pasalic. Pasalic trying to get the ball to Stanisic. They have a miscommunication there. Throw into England. Here's Konza back to Pickford. Pickford out left to Nico Riley. Riley to Rice. Rice back to Riley. Now to Anderson. The ball out right to Konza. Konza even further right to Reece James. James now gets the ball inside to Anderson. Anderson to Madueke. Madueke to Bellingham. But easily dispossessed there as now Croatia has a chance to break. Puts the ball out right to Stanisic. Stanisic cuts his man back inside. Can he get a shot off? And that's a beautiful goal there by Croatia. Wow! That is a world-class goal by Baturna. What a goal! What a goal! Jordan Pickford, you could dive from now till tomorrow. You're not getting to that ball, brother. It's now 1-1. Game on. That was a goal. And it must be said too, it's a little bit against the run of play. A little bit. England was in the ascendancy. Now England now seems to be a little bit rocked by that goal. And now they're trying to figure themselves out. And now they usher the ball out for a throw-in. So throw-in here to Croatia. So Croatia, after going down 1-0 in the 10th minute, has figured themselves out, figured out a way how to fight themselves back into the game, and now it's game on. As Thomas Tuchel looks pensive on the scoreboard there. Gravidol with a throw in for Croatia. The thing that we have seen this World Cup though is that once you get in the ascendancy, you can't fall back. You cannot fall back. You cannot ease up. The teams that have been successful this World Cup have stayed consistently on the front foot. England kind of fell asleep a little bit. They've been playing nervously out the back and eventually caught up to them. And that's exactly what happened. Jude Bellingham got caught in possession and Croatia quickly pounced. And now we're back to honors even. And right now it's almost at the start, did not even happen. But here's Livakovic trying to get the ball up to Musa. Musa does well with his back turned to goal and wins a free kick for Croatia. As Luka Modric finally gets the ball at his feet, passes it out right. I think this is Stanisic. Stanisic back to the talisman, Luka Modric. Modric back to his central defender, Vuskovic. Vuskovic out left to the goal scorer, Baturina. Baturina back to Vuskovic. Vuskovic out right to Sutalo. Sutalo out even further right to Stanisic. And now they're trying to get the ball back to Livakovic, who subsequently kicks the ball out long. And it's a throw in for England. As we're entering the 40th minute, ball's back to Pickford. The tough second half coming up here. Here's Anderson looking long. Madueke has definitely gotten the best off the left side. Gavidal is definitely struggling with Madueke. Madueke just need to do a little bit better in possession. Another corner kick for England. I think this is England's fourth or fifth corner kick, maybe. I think something like that. And heads have been going up, but the Arsenal luck hasn't really rubbed off on them as yet. But let's see what happens with this corner kick as Declan Rice gets ready to put the ball into the box. But a beautiful goal here by Baturina. Levels the game at 1-1. Here's Rice, puts the ball into the box, heads going up, and a free header here, and it's Harry Kane. Harry Kane with a beautiful header, and it's 2-1. It's 2-1. Let me tell you something. You see this World Cup? Apart from Cristiano Ronaldo, those who are expected to play have showed up. It's now 2-1. A beautiful header there, a beautiful corner, perfectly placed corner kick. I wonder if John Stones might have been impeding. That's a well executed corner kick though, well executed corner. As Harry Kane scores his second. As it's now 2-1 to England. That was a vital goal for them to score here at the stroke of halftime. Very vital goal there. Oh, I didn't even put Croatia goal in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all our Croatian fans out there. Sorry about that. It's 2-1. Here's England again with another goal kick and another. I don't get this short kick routine, but Pickford now kicks it long. And it goes out of touch for a throw in to Croatia. Stanisic gets the ball back from the Sotalo. Sotalo to the goal scorer, Baturina. Chirina back to Vucevic. And there goes the high press. And Madueke and Kane almost took the ball off Vucevic there. And that would have been a horse race to a third goal. That's the danger to me that England possesses. That's the danger that England offers that they don't normally offer, is that speed up front. Anthony Gordon needs to show up though. Anthony Gordon is not balancing the left side for England. And it's not like England is starving for opportunity for players. They definitely have players that can run that left wing. Here's Nico Riley doing one of his trademark marauds down the left side. Tries to get ball back to Gordon. Gordon now to Bellingham. Bellingham lining up a long shot, and he goes down, and it's a foul for England as Pasalic. He did foul him. He did. A little soft, but he did foul him. Free kick here for England from about 30 yards out. Yeah, 30. If we're going to say each line is 5 yards. Or maybe 10. No, it can't be 10 yards. Let me see. 5, 10, 15. Actually, yeah. Each line is because you have the 18-yard box here. So it's about 5 yards. So it's about 30 yards out. Reece James and Madwick is standing over it. Goalkeeper Livakovic looks a little bit concerned here, setting up his far post. Don't know why. It's going to take something really special to beat him from here. You know what? I think each line is 6 yards. Because the box is an 18-yard box, right? And it's 3 clear lines there. So each marking on the field is 6 yards. So this is 30 yards out, and Reece James kicked it not into the wall, but into the players that were it lumped up on the side of the wall. Here's a goal scorer, Baturina, ushered out there by Anthony Gordon. It's a throw in for Croatia, deep in their own half. We're entering the last 4 minutes of stoppage time. And here's Perisic in possession. Cuts the ball back inside, trying to find Modric. But it looks like Pasalic said, I'll take it. It's the ball out left. Here's Perisic. Back to Baturina. England now back into that compact shape. Here's Luka Modric. Has to come all the way back to get his feet on the ball. And now they don't look back for him. But they look long for Perisic. Perisic carries the ball out. The referee did not. Yes, he eventually called the throw in. So it's a throw in to England deep in their own half. As they have a look at the replay again, Hurricane coming in unmarked. The free header. John Stones provided the resistance to the player that was in that zone because Croatia was in a zonal marking there. Here's Perisic in possession. Balls to the goal scorer, gets the ball out right. A long shot, and Jordan Pickford seemed to like he had it covered as Patholic sent it high and wide. I need to see how close this was, though, because Pickford looked a little bit of concern. Yeah, it was way wide. Goal kick to England. Here they are with another short kick, but then the ball kicks short from Konza to Pickford, who just kicks the ball long. Why not just kick the ball long and done? Anyway. And Luka Modric taken down here by Harry Kane. Another call here that if the referee wasn't this tight, England would have been off to the races again. That press is doing something to Croatia. Here's Perisic. All the way back to Gavidal. Gavidal to the middle to Luka Modric. Modric in the center circle. Trying to find somebody to pass. So has nobody to pass. So puts the ball out left to Sotalo. Sotalo back to Vucevic. Vucevic out left to Gavidal. Gavidal further left out here to the goal scorer by Torino. Ball goes all the way back. Here's Vucevic. Vucevic to Sotalo. Sotalo back inside to Pasalic. Pasalic looking long. That's a free header, and it must be two. And it's a beautiful goal here. Another great goal by Croatia. Salute to Perisic here, who heads the ball down, and Musa made no bones about it. Are we witnessing possibly the best game in the World Cup so far? I'd have to look at that again as Perisic heads the ball down. There was some talk here off sides, but nah. Perisic did well. Perisic did well. As we're now at halftime, another important goal there, because you look at that goal and what it does going into the halftime break. Both teams now entering the halftime break with something to play for, as it's 2-2. Well, let me get the other score ready for the second half. Two at the half. Let's go through the stats here real quick. A very exciting first half here. Well played. I'll also say it's a well played first half. England enjoying 48% of possession. Croatia has 52. Both teams had 2 shots on goal. Two shots, 2 goals. England had 1 big mischance. I don't know where that mischance come from. I don't believe in the mischance foolishness. 6 to 5 fouls committed. Croatia has made 1 save. So 2-2, all to play for here into the second half. Let me just fix this up here to say halftime. All to play for here in going into the second half. I'll be right back, people. Okay, you know I'm actually still working, so let me go and check my emails real quick. I'll be right back. We're at halftime. 2-2. Croatia versus England. Do remember, coming up later, Panama kicks off against Ghana. Could be a good game too, Panama versus Ghana might be one of those tricky games as well. But almost back, people. Almost back. Give me about 2 more minutes and we're gonna get kickoff in the second half. But 2-2, England versus Croatia. England taking the lead both times, and Croatia twice battling back to tie the game. Let's see what the second half have for us. I'll be right back. We're getting ready for the second half kickoff. 2-2 Croatia versus England. As the penultimate game, first game of the first round for all teams. After tonight, all teams will have played their first game of the World Cup, and we will get a sense of where teams stand. In my opinion, this game so far has been one of the best games of the World Cup. In my opinion, definitely has been one of those games that has been well played. And all to play for in the second half. Definitely all to play for in the second half here. There's still a commercial break, but wait. Game start already? And it looks like Jude Bellingham with a goal. Wait. So me still up on commercial break? I'm still on commercial break. What the hell? It's 3-2 to England. And Jude Bellingham with a goal. Early to the second half, picked up the ball. Just like that. And England is off to a rousing start in the second half. Corner kick to England. Free head at the back, and that should have been 4. As Nico O'Reilly heads it wide. He had a free header. Not necessarily free, but so it's 3-2 England. Can Croatia crawl and fight their way back another time? I'm sitting here and no substitutes so far in the second half. Croatia has done this twice before, come from behind against England. Can they do it again, or can England find another one? Here's Musa battling well here with the English defenders, and it gets taken down. Surely that's Bertina. And it's a free kick for Croatia. About 36 yards away from goal. Here's Modric to the free kick. Dangerous spot here. Headed up there by Harry Kane. Here's Bellingham winning possession. Gets the ball out right to Gordon. Gordon has Madwick easily cut out here by Croatia. It was on though. Here's England again employing the high press. And Nico O'Reilly does well winning it back here. Here's Declan Rice running at the Croatia back line. Declan Rice with a chance, puts a ball. It's a beautiful shot here, punched away by Livakovic. It's another corner for England. Well, goalkeeper made it look more brilliant than it needs to be. But he did have to push it out for a corner kick to England. This is probably England's 50th corner of the game, no lie. Can they make it count? Here's Declan Rice, puts the ball in the box. Heads go up. Is headed up there by Perisic. Perisic only gets as far as Rice. Rice beats the man down the corner. And again, unable to get the ball past Perisic. And guess what? It's another corner to England. They've already scored off one. They could score another one. Short corner out there to Ellis Anderson, top of the 18. Trying to go back to Rice. Rice heads it down for Madueke. Madueke has another coming together again with Modric, and it goes out for a goal kick. Are we under a flood watch? Yeah. We're actually under a flood watch here. Okay. You know what? I should go put McCullough in the ground. Soon do that. Goal kick here for Livakovic. Sends it long. Two heads go up. Declan Rice in possession. Goes back for Stones. Stones all the way back for Pickford. You know what? For a player, ball back to Konza. For a player that hasn't played that much football, especially this year, I'm talking about John Stones, he does look very comfortable against Croatia. He does look very comfortable. Here, Nico Riley back to Stones. Stones inside to Rice. Rice back to Pickford. Or that's Anderson. Pickford to Konza. Konza now to Bellingham. Bellingham to the right to Reece James. Reece James inside to Harry Kane. Harry Kane playing like a low-line midfielder. Pushes the ball onto the Croatian half. Gets the ball out right to Madueke. Madueke has options. Get the ball into James. And well marshaled out there by Pasalic. And it's now another corner kick. Guess what? Another corner kick for England. It's like a million corners for England. Yeah, let me get you the actual number. Let me tell you how many corners England has had. England has had. Oh, see it. Hold on. Well, let's see what happened with the corner first. Here's the corner into the box. A free header. Punch away. And another one. And another save. Two saves there by the goalkeeper on the goal line. Ball back out to Rice again. They're not fair. The ball get upgraded. It's like Harry Kane. And another deflection. It's another corner. As the goalkeeper, Nico O'Reilly with a header, pushed it, and the goalkeeper pushed it right to Anthony Gordon. And Gordon, all he had to do was pick a spot. And he kicked it right back to the goalkeeper. And it's another corner. The referee's checking for something, though. What is the referee checking for? I don't know. And the referee says play on. All right, so corner kick for. I'm trying to find how many corners they've had. I know it's a lot, though. I know they've had at least 10 corners. Let's see. Yeah, England is out. England. Hold on. And here's Harry Kane into the box, but his left foot. Another save by the goalkeeper. And Harry Kane with another chance, pushed away again by the goalkeeper. England is being relentless. Here's Anthony Gordon. Gets the ball inside the Bellingham, puts it back to the back post. Harry Kane, another save. What is going on in this game? Croatia is living by the seat of their pants. The goalkeeper now goes down. So England have had 8 corners to Croatia's 1. Oh, that should have been a foul on Harry Kane. That last one on the ball came in, it should have been a foul on Harry Kane. Anyway, Luka Modric is off. And Kovacic is on. So they take off one old man and put on another old man. That's where we are. But that's where we are right now with Croatia. As Kovacic comes on. You know, this might be a game that features the most players with Manchester City on their CV so far in the World Cup. A lot of players on this field have been influenced by Pep Guardiola. Anyway, let me take off Modric and put on Kovacic. One second, people, making the change here. So Kovacic is on for Modric. England is definitely have their tails up here. Regain the lead, start of the second half, and they look hungry for more. Probably should have had another goal, to be honest. Anyway, here's John Stones to Declan Rice, and Rice, or that was Bellingham, put the ball wide off. Nico O'Reilly goes for a throw into Croatia. I have this England team going far. Now, my bracket don't look too safe because I think I have England playing Portugal in the semi-final. And after what I saw from Portugal today, I'm not that sure. Not that certain at all. And we see a bunch of subs there warming up for England, including Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson definitely is one of the mascots of the World Cup. I saw a video today of Neymar training. I guess Neymar will be playing on Friday. I don't know, but speaking of mascots. Ball goes out for a goal kick for Croatia. The Croatian fans now look on a little bit bewildered because they had to take off Modric in the 60th minute. That means Modric age might have finally caught up to Luka Modric. Here's Reece James in possession. Ball goes back to Pickford. Pickford looking wide to O'Reilly. Here's Nico O'Reilly. Picking out his options. Pick his teammate, John Stones. Stones now looking long to being hammered. Was hammered there by, I think it was Pasalic. Yeah, Luka Modric definitely looked old. I was actually Perisic. Was hammered by Perisic. But Luka Modric definitely today, unfortunately, looked old. It's unfortunate to see because the career that Luka Modric has had, He just couldn't handle the midfield today. And I think England midfielders of Elliot Anderson and Declan Rice, along with Bellingham and Kane, kind of overran him. And he just wasn't up to snuff today, but it's unfortunate. Still a legendary baller though. Throw into Croatia. Sends it back to Sotelo. Sotelo. And this is what I'm talking about, as Kovacic had the possession here, and the English press were on him hard there with Anthony Gordon and Harry Kane. And that's bad, not bad. I don't think Anthony Gordon is having a bad game. I just think that he has had little influence with England in possession. But one thing that definitely goes unnoticed for some is that Anthony Gordon works. And he works his socks off for the team. And that pressing definitely helps. As we see another evidence of it here, as now Bellingham is now employing the press with Harry Kane and forcing Croatia back to Likovic. And Livakovic now in possession gets the ball out left to Sotalo. And aforementioned Gordon now pressing. And here's England pressing Croatia. And Croatia now going all the way back to their touchline and now forced to go long. Easily won here by Gonzo. Back to Stones. Let's have a look here at Emmett Smith. That's definitely Emmett Smith and what's his name? Former Cowboys receiver. He used to play for Oklahoma State. And he does the X. Oh my God. I think he wore number 88. Part of the 88 club for the Dallas Cowboys. Very good receiver as well. Can't remember his name right now, but he's there as well with Emmett Smith. Here's Perisic. Cuts the ball back into his favorite left foot. Why did he put it back on his right? Why did Perisic put it back on his right? Shoot the ball. And now they're saying it's a goal kick. Actually, it wasn't Perisic, it was Sucic. Yeah, that was Perisic is shooting. I don't know why he went back to his right. And Stones, I wanted to say Stones did well, but you cut the ball to your left and the space is there. Take the shot. Anyway, goal kick to England. Here's Bellingham, who is having a very fine game. It's the ball to Anderson. Anderson does well. He's bundled over here by, I think that's Gravidal. It's now a free kick to England. Actually, that was Kovacic. Good turn here by Anderson. England in possession. There are a lot of England haters out there that is not liking what they're seeing, And my phone is blowing up because all those who know England is my, I would say, second, a tie. I have two teams that are tied. In Brazil, if it's not Jamaica, Brazil is my number one team for football, male or female, right? But I have a sentiment for Portugal. I also have a sentiment for England, and I put both of them together. Here's Anthony Gordon trying to show his worth and ran into problems there, and the ball now goes out for throw-in to Croatia. But yeah, but a lot of people out there don't like England, and they always find something to bitch and moan about, as Croatia now readies two more subs. Has taken off Vuskovic. Okay. So they take off Vuskovic and they're taking off Musa, it looks like. Interesting substitution changes here. Anyway, here's England in possession. Here's Consa. Does well to get by his man. Gets the ball out there to Reece James. It's the part I hate now. I hope I don't miss a goal. But they got let's see, who's this and the Vucevic sub is a little bit eye-opening there, I must say. Anyway, here's England in possession. Here's Nico Riley. Here's Anthony Gordon. So ball back to Rice. As we're about to enter another cooling break. I think they have about a minute before the next cooling break. We enter the fourth quarter of the game. England has yet to make a substitution. Here's Rice. Cuts the ball back into his right foot. As England now going from right to left here in the second half. Early goal by Jude Bellingham at the start of the second half is the difference so far. Here's Madueke, puts the ball in for Kane. Kane heads it down for Gordon. Gordon tries a half volley. And the ball hits off the defender. And now Croatia tries to break. And Jude Bellingham did well running him down. Sotalo taking him down. As England now readies at least 2 substitutions as they have now entered the cooling break. And this is where I'm now going to say that Thomas Tuchel is being smart. And now Tuchel is now talking to Bellingham. And this cooling break is taken by Tuchel to talk to Bellingham, giving him some words of encouragement. Very interesting with Bellingham because we know how the Tuchel England reign started. And he and Bellingham were at odds. So to see them now mature into this place must be a good thing. Must be a good thing for the British fans, for the England fans. And this entire cooling break, Tuchel spent most of the time talking to Bellingham. Interesting. Let's see what the substitutions are going to be because England definitely readying 2 subs. And I like the fact that you make the subs during the cooling break. Not right before, not right after, during the cooling break when it's a natural break in the game. As Rashford is also coming on. Let me put it in the chat. As they are they're looking at the Perisic header back to Musa that led to the goal. Saw the goal there from Bellingham. Great goal. Great goal. As Tuchel now speaking to his charges, telling him, I promise you, he's telling them, look, this is the last quarter of the game. Let's not take our foot off the gas. Let's go out there and let's finish strong. We'll see Marcus Rashford getting ready to come on. I think he'll be coming on for Anthony Gordon. That would be my guess. My guess is that definitely Anthony Gordon. We also have Morgan Rogers coming on as well. Who will Rogers come on for? Madueke? No. Who will Rogers come on for? Reece James? Maybe Reece James. Maybe Reece James can't play the full. Maybe James can't play the full 90 minutes. I don't know. Declan Rice. So he's taking off Declan Rice and putting on Rogers. I know a lot of Manu fans will not be happy. Taking off Bellingham, putting on Saka, and taking off Madueke, and putting on wait. So he took off Bellingham. So interesting. So he put on Morgan Rogers for Declan Rice. Cool. Oh, Anthony Gordon. He took off Anthony Gordon. Oh, yeah. Because I was going to say, why would he be talking to Bellingham that long if he's going to take off Gordon? If he's going to take him off. So he took off Madueke, took off Gordon, and took off Rice. All right, Rashford, your time to do something now. I think this is a litmus test change, though, because one thing that Madueke and Rogers did well was press. Can Saka and Rashford maintain the same intensity with the press? And here's Rashford with a chance. A poor header. And Rashford. And the goalkeeper did well to come out there and take it off his foot. Wow. What an introduction that would have been for Marcus Rashford. And Bellingham does well again coming across to Pasalic to win possession. So we're entering the final 15 minutes of the game plus stoppage time. Call it about 20 minutes. I'll say about 5 minutes of stoppage time. Here's Croatia breaking into the box. A shot and a good save there by Pickford. Good save there by Pickford. He was called into action. He got down well. It's definitely a good save there. He definitely had to get down smartly there. Here's Riley to Rashford. Rashford back to Stones. Stones now back to Anderson. Anderson to Konza. Kanza outright to Saka. Throwing for Croatia. Perisic throws it quickly. A long shot. And Pickford got down smartly again. Was able to just parry the ball down. Nobody was cutting in on him. See what the voice note is.
Yo, of all the games I'm play, this are the hardest me seen play since him left door.
Because that's a Rashford problem. Rashford should get to that ball before the them the ball if get to where they hurt left man.
Everybody commenting about the play by Bellingham in our group chat. Here's another chance for Croatia. Ball to the box. And another sliding tackle here. And then referee has his flag up. It's a corner kick. I mean, it's an offside. You look at the replay here off the save by Jordan Pickford. Had his near post covered. Got down. Another say the ball went straight to him. So another substitutions here. Another round of substitutions coming up. As Pasalic is off. Vlasic is on for Croatia. Foul here on Kanza. Kanza has done well as well enough. I kind of like the way Kanza has played this game. Let me see. Vlasic is on for Pasalic. It looked like Madueke, not Madueke. Like Ezzy's on. Did they take Bellingham off? Or Spence? Spence is on for Bellingham. So we got Spence on for Bellingham. Here's Croatia hunting for an equalizer. Headed out there by Anderson. See, this is where I think England is losing a little bit of their steam. Once they made these substitutions, they're not as high flying as they were in the first half or before the substitution. Ball into the box. A poor clearance there by on the 17 here, and he kicks it and goes over the bar. That's the thing with Jordan Pickford. Jordan Pickford will make the difficult saves and give you some head scratchers. So Spence is on for Bellingham. And Bellingham's day is done. Into the final 10 minutes of the game. Came with a header up. Ball back to Pickford. Pickford looking right to Spence. Oh, that's a beautiful ball in there. Can Spence? Oh, a good save there by the Croatia goalkeeper. Spence should have done. That was a beautiful ball. Who made that pass? Well, here's Rashford. Trying to get down the left wing and easily taken out there. But Reece James win back possession. So Reece James seems like he has gone into the holding midfield role. And like Rogers is gone out to the right. Actually, Spence is now on the right. It's Rogers and Reece James in the middle. So where's Anderson? Marcus Rashford with a poor clearance here. Croatia back in the ascendancy. This game is still finely balanced. Still a finely balanced game. Will not surprise me if Croatia finds an equalizer. They definitely have Rogers there in the middle. They definitely have Reece James in the middle. A beautiful ball in, and Pickford again parries the ball. Fortunately out wide to no blue shirt. Here's Croatia. Having Spence on pins and needles. England is now battling down the hedges. Rogers almost winning possession here as England tries to employ back the press. Rashford was nowhere to be found on that press. England struggling to clear the ball out. And a long shot and comfortable save. Here's Spence with a throw-in. Konza in possession. So Spence is now playing at the right back. It looks like Anderson is now up in a 10 role. And Reece James is playing holding midfielder. Here's Saka in possession. Gets the ball to Rogers. Rogers tried to lay it off for Spence. Saka does well winning the ball back. Can Rashford put the ball away here? This must be a goal. And Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford. It's 4-2. He's been struggling with the press. But this is what Marcus Rashford does. Comes on for Anthony Gordon. Is influential. Marcus Rashford makes it 4-2. England is in the ascendancy. The referee is calling out to the side another substitution. And I think they're taking off John Stones and putting on. I'm gonna put on my boy from Man City. Another Manchester City. To the Man City, Mark Guay, he's coming on for John Stones. Now England can find some comfort now in the game. Marcus Rashford, as we know, will be looking for a club. Here's Anderson pressing Croatia again. He's running like the game just started. "4-2 England. I am very impressed with this game by England. Very impressed. Now Croatia is an older team, but they are a very experienced team, and they will provide a good competition, as we saw throughout this game. But the second half, England has turned up. You know, a lot of people. 'Cause England is one of those polarizing teams. It's going to generate a lot of conversation both ways. Harry Kane is down, and we have 6 minutes of stoppage time. As the game now is about to just peter out towards the end. Very impressive game here by England, marking their entry into this World Cup, this year's World Cup, and it feels a little bit different. I think it feels a little bit different for England fans here. Here's the press again by Anderson. Here's Croatia. Can they find a consolation? If Croatia scores now, it makes for an interesting final 5 minutes. Anderson in possession. Croatia back in possession. Looks like it's a throw-in for Croatia. Stanisic now with the ball deep in the England half. Oh, that should have been a throw-in for England. Good game, though. Good game for England. Good game. Croatia made a game of it early, or all the way to the end of the first half. But second half, it's really been all England. Even though Croatia had a couple moments, they had a couple spells where England were under siege, and England was eventually able to navigate themselves out of that pressure and converted it into a goal for their own. So here's Perisic with Saka for company, tries to put the ball in, takes a deflection, and Pickford does well to go and catch it before it goes out for a corner kick. Next game today, Panama plays against Ghana. That's going to be another game as well. That it could be like this. It depends on which Panama shows up. I think Ghana is a big side, but Panama can present a problem. So let's see how that game goes. Here's Croatia. Perisic in possession, tries to cut inside. Try to play a 1-2 with Kovacic and gets it back. Try to put a long shot in and blocked. Charged down and cleared away by Rashford. I think this is Pasalic or this is Gravadal in possession. Oh, Sutalo. Ball in a very poor pass here. Saka takes it up, but it's a foul by Anderson. You know what? Elliot Anderson has ran his socks off. Anybody that had question marks around why Elliot Anderson is playing should just look at this game and shut the hell up. He has ran his socks off today. Here's Perisic in possession. Wins a corner kick there off of Spence. Enter the last 2 minutes of the game. Perisic wants to take this corner quickly. Has to slow it down a little bit now. Puts the ball into the box. Heads go up. Headed on there by this. Might be a goal here for England. And now it's a save there by Harry Kane. And now England with a breakaway with Saka. Saka to Rashford. And Rashford back to Saka. Can Rashford score a second? No, he can't. As Sucic did well, but Harry Kane scored 2 goals and it's been influential and saved at least. That was going into the goal. I don't think Pickford is going to save that. Yeah, that was going to go in the goal. Good save there by Harry Kane. And now they're entering the final stretch here. England looking for one more with Anderson. Right, man of the game. Right. It's hard. It's a tough decision here. Oh, Harry Kane had a chance for his hat trick there, but sends it high and wide. And a lucky fan caught the ball. And that ball is not coming back as the stewards are going to the fans and that ball is not coming back. The game done. Make him go home with the ball, man. Here's Croatia in possession. Final seconds of the game. With long whistle any minute now. Ball into the box. And that should be it. That should be it. 4-2 England. And that's it. That's a long whistle. That's the game. 4-2 England. Very impressive start to the World Cup for England. This is not a pushover game. Croatia is not a pushover team. It's a very impressive start to the World Cup, and definitely, England definitely has laid down a response to one of the markers. One more game to go for the first game of the group stage, for the first round of games in the group stage. Panama versus Ghana. That's coming up in an hour. I have Ghana winning that game. I have Ghana winning that game 3-1. I have Ghana winning that game 3-1. But I think it's going to be a very good game. I don't think it's going to be one of those games. This was an easy game. I don't think it's going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's going to be a good back and forth game. I'm going to assume that Panama is going to come out with an intention to play football and not part the bus. And if they do that, they will create opportunities, and we know what Ghana will do going forward. So it's going to be a very good game. End of the game here, England defeating Croatia 4-2. 2 goals by Harry Kane, 1 by Bellingham and 1 by Marcus Rashford. We had goals by Musa and Baturina. Very good game. Tale of two halves, really. England maintained their style of play and momentum for both halves. Croatia kind of fell off in the end for the second half. Still a lot to play for in the group. Still a lot to play for. Croatia can hold their heads up, just take care of business. But England, I think, has really set a mark as one of the teams in the World Cup that should be looked at as one of the teams to beat. We saw what Argentina did yesterday. We saw what France did yesterday. We saw what Germany did. Even regardless of competition, we saw what Germany did. I think England is right up there with them in terms of setting the marker down. So those are the 4 teams to me right now that have really showed up so far this World Cup. England, Germany, Argentina, and France. Norway is there as well, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready to christen Norway as our rivals as yet. Teams that have a lot to prove. The next round of games that start tomorrow. The teams that have a lot to prove for me is Netherlands, Spain, Brazil. A lot of question marks around those teams. Teams that have lost that I would say don't lose hope. Senegal. Even with that loss against France, don't lose hope on Senegal. They created some opportunities yesterday. Croatia, even though they lost to England, don't lose hope. There's still hope abound for these 2 teams moving on into the second round. Lot to play for people in the World Cup. That's it. BCN Sports Watch Along. We will be back. I know we'll be back tomorrow for sure. Tomorrow we have Korea versus Mexico. That is going to be a damn good game. Korea and Norway to me is right there, right at the cusp. I like what I saw from Korea. But they have to prove more. And tomorrow they play against the host Mexico. It's going to be a big game. So that's it, people. Do remember, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. You can follow us at Ball Chat Podcast on Instagram. Follow us on Blue Sky at Ball Chat Podcast. You can find us at Facebook at Ball Chat. You can also send us an email at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. England victorious. Portugal wet the bed. A lot to play for the World Cup. The World Cup is just getting started, people. Let's go.